Harvey Weinstein got rushed to the hospital from prison after a heart episode, maybe a heart attack or something like that. And as soon as I read it, I was like, rushed? Do they not know? Oh, you can take your time with Harvey. You don't gotta run any red lights for Harvey. You don't need to put the siren on, just making turns like you. That's gotta be tough. You driving Harvey Weinstein's ambulance. You hitting yellow lights, making decisions. Turns a little bit yellow. We wouldn't have made it. I'm sure even the guard at the prison, Harvey over here. The guard's like, oh no. Don't. That's a tough one too, because I was thinking about it, because I was thinking about it from as many angles as possible, because it's not just he's the person and it's part of the headline, but there are lots of people around him in this situation. You got to think about the people at the hospital. You know, you go to the ER, got a real bad headache, and then they run in with Harvey Weinstein. Just having a heart attack, and you're like, but y'all still gonna get me first, right? Like this hurts really bad. Can we? Or maybe you're not a patient. Maybe you're a surgeon. Imagine, because we don't know what happened exactly. Just know that he has some sort of thing happen. What if that dude had to have like open heart surgery, you know? And I don't think he did. I think we would have heard about it. But let's say he had to have open heart surgery. Let's say you're a surgeon. You work at the hospital. You went to school. You studied hard. You learned everything that there was to learn about healing someone, especially someone in dire straits, someone who's really, really down to the wire, right? And you go to school, med school, maybe do some sort of residency. I don't know how it works, but you get hired by a hospital and you come into work on a random Tuesday. Checking into work and everything, about to sit at your desk, and somebody runs in, hey, you gotta come, quick. And then they pull you into an OR, and it's Harvey Weinstein on the table. And you're like, uh-oh. Like, hurry, you gotta save him. And you're like, gotta? Like, do I really? It's like, yeah, you took a Hippocratic oath to... I was like, yeah, but when they made us... When they made us take the oath, they didn't mention anything like this. Like, I was saying it in theory. Somebody might have had to do open heart surgery on Harvey Weinstein. Someone might have had to put their hands in Harvey Weinstein. The whole time they're just like, ew, 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 ew. You know, it's insane. It's like, I couldn't get it off my mind too, because it's like everybody involved, you know? They have to do their job, and their job is to heal, but you gotta heal a bad person. This dude is the devil. And you know how we know he's like truly, truly evil. Not all the testimony, not all of the stories about things that he's done for decades over his career. We know that everybody knows because they made him. During the trial was when I was like, man, this guy, oof, this is worse than we could ever imagine. Because during the trial, they got him to do the thing that they get dudes to do when they're definitely guilty. When people are guilty and the jury knows it, the judge knows it, and their own lawyers know it, they all do the same thing. You can look at any case in America. They always tell this dude, hey, listen, you're going to need to act as feeble as possible. Okay? From now on, you use a walker. Do you understand me? We had never seen Harvey with a walker before. You know that man didn't need a walker, but as soon as he was in hot water, he over here can't close his mouth. Get out of here. No. They did the same thing with Cosby. You knew Cosby was guilty because they told that man to act extra blind. Cosby had been losing his sight incrementally over decades, but when it came to the trial, they put glasses on that man and he started acting. You know, he was not that blind. It's one thing to not be able to see. This man was over here putting it on, just Ray Charles and it. You can't feel the sounds. Don't do that. No, because Harvey showed up in that walker, and I was like, yeah. He did everything. Over here. No. Get out of here, man. That's so insane. But I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I really do hope that he's not okay. I feel like... I don't know. I can't judge anybody for not being great at their job because I've been bad at work before. I've had jobs where I look back and I'm like, they should have fired me. You know what I mean? Like I have a good attitude at work, so people, you know, they're like always pleasant, so they let me keep coming in. But there were some times. There were times, okay. I worked for a very, very short period of time at this like storage unit place. They only gave me a couple hours because I was terrible, right? But I would be late, and I would be so late that you know that level of late where you know you need an excuse? And it has to be good. It has to be great. Like you're so late that now, first 10 minutes of late, you can blame traffic, right? Next 10 minutes of late, now you got to blame kids, a sick pet. You know what I mean? Something. After 30, someone has to be dead. After 30, you have to be brave for showing up. You know what I mean? You have to win them over again and be like, hey, look, you know, my whole family. But I care so much about this job that I was like, let me go ahead and do those 7.5 hours because I wanted to make sure I helped out the company. You know what I mean? And the problem with death is that you can really only use it once a year. Because if everybody die every time you late, you look like bad luck. You know what I mean? Like you look like you're really going through it, right? Because after 30, that's when you have to decide, did somebody die or am I too sick to come in? Because your boss, your manager is already going to be mad because this is a call you should have made 30 minutes before you were late, if not sooner than that. But now that you're this late, now you have to call and basically try to pretend to throw up on the phone, right? At 30 minutes late, you got to call and be like, hey, I'm so sorry. I know I'm already late and I love my job so much. I love my job. like you wouldn't believe, you know what I mean? Like I had a dream last night I was on time. I had a dream that I was on time working, because you know how I love to work there, right? Like, you know, and I was doing my job, I was moving the boxes and everything, and it felt good to be there with y'all, my coworkers, and my boss, who I'm calling right now, who I know is too good of a person to hold this against me. You know I love it here. Now, there was one time I was so late. I was so late that I called my job and pretended to be my old brother. It was like, oh, Josh wanted me to call you, and I forgot. He actually told me to call you 2.5 hours ago, the exact amount of time that the manual says that he has to let you know that he can't come in by if he doesn't want to get written up. I meant to call at that time for him, but I forgot. That's my bad. His brother, not him, right? And I just basically called to tell you, he died. I used to struggle, but now I think I've accepted like how out of control I am of how I'm perceived as a person, right? Like I don't really get to decide. You can try to like maintain an image, and you can try to like curate a way that people might see you, but you can't actually control it, right? And one like optic I've never been able to fully control is like giving off like hardcore man. You know what I mean? Like just like, oh, that's a man right there, right? Because a lot of like masculinity, a lot of just general male identity is all the way down to optics. You know? It used to be a bunch of things that made you a man, you know? And some of those things were literally just judged by things that women couldn't do. So if you go back to like the 60s and like women couldn't have a credit card or something, and you had a credit card, you're like, I'm a man, charge it. But as women made more strides and the need for a man became less in like women's lives, the whole of what it meant to seem like or be a man started to narrow, and it's narrowed down now to the point of like aesthetics, like just general optics, right? And I know I don't give those off. And not in a self-deprecating way, just in like a true, if I'm being myself, they don't come across. Like I was on a date and I could tell I didn't come off as like that man for her because I blew on my hot food too many times. From the time you're a child, your parents tell you to blow on that food because it's hot. You don't want to burn your mouth, right? And I decided a long time ago that I was as close to done as possible to doing like dumb stuff just to look like a man. I was either gonna like be a man in that moment or I wasn't. I was just gonna be honest with myself. I wasn't gonna take a hot bite and then juggle it in the back of my throat. Take a piping hot bite of lasagna and then that's not me. I'm gonna be real with myself. And so I went ahead and I took my fork, and everyone on planet Earth gets one blow. That's you even checking the temperature. Sometimes you bring food to your lip and it's so hot, it's not even touching your lip yet, but you're like, ooh, food. But I took too long. I also took too long between blows. Took my fork of food. I was like, doesn't hit right, you know what I mean? There's not just one thing. There's lots of things that I do. Like I also, it doesn't seem very manly, but I use a lot of napkins. And I don't mean like I have a handkerchief that I keep in a suit that's like somebody crying, I can be like, don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about I have Wendy's napkins in my back pocket. I was on a date, same date as the last thing. This happened right after, where, you know, because I blow my food so hard sometimes, depending on the food, and if it's saucy, it'll splash, right? And so it's one thing if you have a little something here or, you know, here, but if you blow the food so hard that it splashes up a little bit and you got a little food on your nose or your cheek and you start to look like a toddler, that's also unacceptable. Hence, I keep the napkins on me because I blow my food. I'm not giving it up, right? But she was like, oh, you have a little something right here. And so then I grabbed a napkin and I was like, that wasn't the manliest way to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I should have grabbed the napkin and smeared it. You know what I mean? Just like, did I get it? I don't care. You know what I mean? That would have been more manly. Because it is just, you know, it's a part of self-acceptance. Just know there's certain things that you do. I'm not saying you can't change them, but like, I'm not gonna be myself and then wonder why people don't think I'm someone else. Do you know what I mean? So if you get a good sense of yourself, you understand why you come off the way that you come off, right? Like, I think there's 2 times where you cannot help, no matter what you try to project, you cannot help but be yourself. The 2 times are when you laugh and when you are scared, right? Because when you laugh, sometimes you don't even want to laugh. You know? Like you, sir. No, I'm just... Sometimes when you laugh, you don't even want to laugh, but it just escapes you because it's so funny. Like when a kid falls. It's not always funny, but sometimes it's very funny. They fall so stupid. Like, it's like, why is his leg up there like that? Do they have bones? Like, what's happening? And so you laugh, and then sometimes the laugh escapes, and you can't even control the way that it comes out. It's funny, you know. Same way with fear. You know, sometimes you get scared. You don't mean to get scared. We would all like to not be scared, right? But sometimes you're fearful, and when the fear escapes you, your reaction, that is who you are. You know? I'll give you an example. I was at my buddy's house one time, and my buddy doesn't have a good house. No, I've told him this to his face before. I'm like, you're in a bad situation. You need to improve your life and yourself, all right? Because he is in a bachelor pad with 3 other dudes, and they keep it, whatever you imagining, that's what it looked like, right? So it's not good. There's whole rags on the floor nobody will claim. I'm like, y'all can't live like this. And so he was having an argument with his roommate, and they were really having it out, which was awkward because I was over there to watch a movie that was now paused. So this doesn't have anything to do with me, but I was just over here. We had already said we're 30 minutes in. I don't want to go home and then try to find my spot and everything. let's just watch the movie. But then they over there jawing at each other, and it's getting more and more intense, and it's awkward too because my buddy's sitting here and the roommate is standing up. When I say we're sitting here, we sitting on the floor because he doesn't have furniture. It's not a good house. And so we're sitting on the floor, and so then I'm getting yelled over because he yelling at him, but then he's standing over us. And so I feel like I'm in trouble too. And I'm like, I just want to watch the movie. Then finally his friend lays down the hammer. I don't remember what he said, but he said those like last words that you say in a fight, and he stormed off and he went to slam the door behind him, right? But because they don't have a good house, right? He went to slam the door, and the door fell off. Even badly built homes have good hinges. There's no reason for the whole door to fall off. And so this is what happened. I knew he was going to slam the door because I was looking at him when he was walking away, because I was like, okay, I can unpause it, right? So when he slammed the door, that was a loud noise that I saw coming, right? Boom. That's fine. Doesn't scare me. But I had turned my head and I had hit play, and the door, the way the hinges decided to give out was incrementally, right? And so the door didn't just fall right off. It just sort of slowly started to fall hinge by hinge until it slammed down, right? But this is a loud noise that I wasn't expecting. So then the door fell and it made that whip sound. You know, like when you just drop a book on its face, and I'm not proud of it. But when I get scared enough, I grab my chest with an open hand. And this is hard to come back from. This right here, people don't play games with this. This is bona fide bitch right here. If you do this and you don't want people to see it, you gotta go kill everybody who saw it. Because people will tell people that you did that. This is not the hand gesture of someone who's like, man, I'll kick your ass. That's never said doing this. This is the look of someone that goes to Trader Joe's and says, what do you mean you're out of peach jam? This is a never in my days gesture. This is a my word, my Lord gesture. This ain't what you do when the ops start shooting. I'm over here grabbing a robe I'm not wearing, right? When I was a kid, our class had a bully, and I'm just gonna call him John, right? And John, He bullied everybody in like a very run-of-the-mill way. Like this was very standard bullying. Like slap the books out your hand was that, it was blow, right? And I think one of the reasons we let him get away with it wasn't just because he was a little bit bigger than all of us, but his voice changed first. And it changed so young, we didn't know what to do with that. Like we didn't know that was coming for the rest of us. So then John would just walk up like, give me your homework. And I'd be like, that sounds like the devil. So, because I'm not equipped with holy water today, you gonna get this math homework. Oh. And there was another kid in our class, Reeve. And Reeve, I'm not gonna say he didn't have any friends, but Reeve had friends for like 20 minutes at a time, because Reeve was one of the singular most annoying people I'd ever met in my entire life. It was almost to the level of a skill or a talent. It was absolutely insane. As an example, right? Reeve loved anime. And that's fine. I love anime too. But Reeve loved anime in a way that I didn't love anime, because I at least know anime not real. Reeve loved anime to the point where he was letting it affect how he runs. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Like, he could never do anything regular. He had to do it anime every time. He could never just turn around. He had to be like, "Tza-tza!" Like, you ask Reeve a question, he doesn't know the answer. He can't just think about it. He has to go, It's like, as a fellow anime lover, I'm like, dog, chill. You making us look bad. Stop. Please. Oh, it was insane. And one day, we were at lunch, and Reeve was trying to make his carton of milk explode, right? You know, with his powers. And so he holding his hand over the carton of milk, not touching it, holding it over. Nothing happening because it's not real. He finally gets so tired of waiting for the powers to activate that he grabbed the milk, squeeze it, drop it, and go, I did it. I did it. Y'all just didn't see it when I did it. But yeah, I did it. Ooh, I got it. Now, when he picked it up and he crushed it, milk went everywhere. And a lot of milk just spurted out and landed all over John. And John stood up, turned around, walked up to Reeve, towering over him, and was like, "You got milk on me. We gonna fight later." And never before in my young life had I been so excited for violence. Because as word spread, people were taking sides. They were like, "No, John gonna kill Reeve." And we're like, no, Reeve weird. I bet you he gonna scratch him to death. Like, he has that X factor. We might be able to get rid of both of them at the same time. And so after school, we gathered round in a little circle in front of the two of them. They're about to fight, right? And John is like lumbering back and forth. And we knew John was strong, but he also, he moved slow. And he was moving slow pre-fight. He was just stalking back and forth like Mike Tyson in the early 90s, just like ready to do something terrible, right? And then on the other side of this imagined ring, Reeve is using his pre-fight time to power up. I've watched a lot of anime, and I've never seen what this child did next. Because to power up, the first thing he did was let his knees buckle. What is this? What power are you drawing from the earth right here like this? This doesn't make any sense at all. He over here, knees buckled, arms out. This is not how you power up in any anime. This is how you fall down the stairs if you a slinky. All right. And this boy here, like this, doing the power-up yell. Oh! And then the fight starts, and the fight starts with Reeve attacking John, right? Coming right at him, but he coming at him in the power-up stance. So he over, oh! And admittedly, John didn't know what to do. He really was like, oh. And so they start fighting, and kind of what we thought was gonna happen happens. John is big, he's strong, but he telegraphs all his punches, and he's slow. Boom, but he's missing, right? And Reeves attacks. Reeves' attacks have a lot of energy to them. That's not really going anywhere. Like, instead of punching, he over here. And so he's fast enough getting out of John's way, but he's not doing any damage. And so John over here punching air, and Reeve over here throwing air. So it's not really a fight. But I really was gathered around all those people, shoulder to shoulder, watching two of them go at it like fight, 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 fight. First time in my life. Fight, 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 fight. So when I think about Elon and Trump, right? It's like it's like one of the most insane bouts I've ever watched take place in my life. In case you haven't heard, Elon and Trump are fighting. And it's like Christmas came early and twice. Like, the only person calling for peace is Kanye West. That's crazy. It's crazy. And we knew that this thing was bound to happen, you know? Because you have to think of who Elon is as a person and who Trump is as a person, right? And it's wild because one, richest man in the world, one, most powerful man in the world and everything, but they had a shaky alliance from the start because I don't think we gave Trump in the moment enough credit for how nice he was being to Elon. He was very nice to Elon. You know? Because Elon, weird. Wait. Elon weird, and Trump didn't say anything about it the entire time, acting like he didn't see it. Like, that's not who he is as a person. Trump is a natural bully. Like, that's what he does, you know? And he was very nice to Elon by omission. I'm not just talking about what he said, because Trump is always using superlatives if he likes you. If he likes you, you're the best, smartest, most amazing that's ever done it, right? That's how he speaks. But he was nice to Elon by what he didn't say. Because you got to remember, Donald Trump is the same man who roasted the supreme leader of North Korea to his face. I don't know if y'all remember, it was like 2018 or something, and Kim Jong-un and him met up to have dinner and like talks and stuff like that, and there was a photographer there taking pictures of both of them before they sat down for the dinner, and Trump turned to the photographer and was like, "You making us all look nice and handsome and thin?" A lot of people think Kim Jong-un doesn't speak or understand English. He understands English. He consumes a lot of American media. And Kim Jong-un was even standing there like, did he? He know I kill people, right? Like, that same guy was very nice to Elon. And he was nice to Elon by omission because Elon jumped in front of Trump. You saw the jump. The world saw the jumps. Trump invited Elon on stage, and Elon walked on stage like... This man showed bottom belly in front of Donald Trump. This grown man showed full belly button, broad daylight in front of Donald Trump, and Trump said nothing. Acting like he didn't see it. Just let that dude start talking right after. That was wild. No, Elon jumped because he was excited. And he was excited because what was about to happen had never happened before. Never before, right? Obviously, Elon, richest man in the world, and as long as there's been money infused in politics, the wealthy have had a ton of influence. That's nothing new. What was about to happen was unprecedented. This rich man was about to actually get to go in the government himself. No back channels, no liaisons. He was going to go in the government himself. He was going to end every investigation into him and his companies. He was going to fire everyone investigating. He was very excited. And I guess he was more excited than any president we've ever had, because all of our presidents have kept their feet on the ground the entire time. There's no old footage of Kennedy like, it doesn't exist. There's no portrait of Thomas Jefferson like, no, get the one where he was getting air. That was... This man jumped in front of Donald Trump. Trump said nothing. Elon laughed in front of Trump. As someone who has traveled the world and continues to travel the world, making people laugh, I've heard all types of laughs. And believe me when I tell you, Elon laughed like he throwing up. Watch any interview Elon does where he makes a joke, because only he will get it, and then he starts laughing, and he's just sitting there like, you know, it's because it's comedy. It's funny with jokes. This man laughed in front of Donald Trump. Trump said nothing. Elon danced in front of Donald Trump. Elon danced like... Elon danced like he got to look at each body part first to give it permission to move. Like, it is truly that he'll be there. In front of Donald Trump. And Trump didn't say a word. That's like sitting Eminem down in front of a yacht going 40 knots, holding 30 thoughts, who are each holding bulbs that are 20 watts, and he can't rap about it at all. That's his whole thing. It's wild that he's not saying anything. He is being very nice to Elon. And I knew it wasn't going to hold. Everybody knew it was going to fall apart. We didn't know when, but we knew it was a short-lived alliance. And it was short-lived, in my opinion, for two reasons. All right? The first one is that you cannot ever watch someone treat everyone terribly and think that that doesn't mean they'll do the same thing to you under the right conditions. You know what I mean? And I should be clear here. I'm not talking about someone who has a bad day, someone who's in a bad way at the moment. We're all human. People have bad days. I'm talking about someone who, by and large, treats people terribly, but is nice to you. It's only for right now. As soon as you're in the position the other people are in, they'll treat you the same way. And if you don't think so, you're a fool. And both of them, without exception, think that they are the exception. Oh no, I've seen him scream at everybody and, treat them like trash. It won't happen to me though. All right? One has the most money in the world. One has the most power in the world. But neither one of them have respect for anybody. And the three things that men like them seek, and I think that they seek them because maybe they're the only things that they care about, or maybe they truly believe that if they get these three or enough of them, everything else will fall into place. But men like these men are obsessed with money, power, and respect. You can't have all the money in the world, you can have all the power in the world, but a lot of people conflate fear with respect. And they're not the same thing. You know, you can be afraid of what someone could do to you with all of their money. It doesn't mean you respect them. You can be afraid of what someone can do to you with all of their power. It doesn't mean that you respect them. And you know it because as soon as the money is gone, the respect is gone. As soon as the power is gone, the respect is gone. And there are plenty of people. There are plenty of people I've known growing up in my life, men that I looked up to who did not have any money. And they didn't have any more power than enough to control themselves, but I respected them because of how they treated people, how they carried themselves. And respect is the one thing, one of many, that can't be bought and it can't be forced. And neither one of them really get that. And they don't respect anyone. So eventually this was gonna come to a head. And I knew it was starting because Elon truly believes, he's even said so, that he bought Trump that election. You know, he spent $250 to $280 million in the election. He believes, look, you lost the last one, you won this one. I'm the difference. I'm the deciding factor. I got you that election. And you're not going to convince a man like Donald Trump that you got him anything. He's like, that's my base. Those are my voters. They like me. They don't like you. You didn't get me anything. I'll gladly take your money, but you didn't get me the election. I got it myself. That was always going to be a sticking point. And so then Elon took that belief and he took it to a local race in Wisconsin, right? And he was even doing like little $1 million raffles if you vote for the person who wants you to vote for. It was very confusing how it worked. Like I didn't get it at all. And he even went to Wisconsin, was stumping for this person, was there in Wisconsin. And then the candidate that he backed lost by double digits. And it's because people see how much money he has. He's the richest man in the world, but they don't like or respect him. He hurt that candidate by being there and by doing those raffles. It would be like if someone came to you, and let's say in this scenario, you know, you're working and you're doing all right, you're getting by, and maybe sometimes it's paycheck to paycheck, things get rough, right? But someone comes up to you and they're like, hey, you just won the lottery. And you're like, what? I didn't even enter. Don't worry, we got you. What? How much did I win? $1 billion. Going from paycheck to paycheck to $1 billion. That's crazy. And you're like, there's gotta be a catch. I didn't enter any lottery. What do I have to do? And they're like, that's simple. You just have to hang out with Elon for the rest of your life. And at least based on what those people did in Wisconsin, they were like, you know what? Actually, my job at McDonald's is perfect. I really like being customer facing. I like the rapport I have with my coworkers. Just keep that money and him away from me, please. Because he could not buy the race because as much money, don't get me wrong, $1 million, ton of money. That's a ton of money. And people have done way worse for less, but at a certain point, people reach their breaking point. And they're like, no, I have enough respect for myself. I have enough respect for my community, for my state to not just vote this way, just for some money from a guy who I know is a bad actor, you know? And once that happened, I knew it was probably up for Elon because he lost that race. He hurt that candidate by going there. And if there's one thing Donald Trump hates, is a loser. And you could see some of the shine wearing off of Elon. Because initially, when the administration started, they protected Elon heavy. Anybody said anything about him, anybody did anything, they were on it like that immediately. But then Elon started getting on people's nerves. You know, initially, when they won, somebody would ask a question, they'd shut it down to the media. Elon is a patriot. He's helping clear this government of waste, fraud, and abuse. You leave Elon alone. And then people started to rebel against Elon specifically through Tesla. Tesla stock started plummeting. People stopped buying Teslas. And then people started vandalizing Teslas. They started blowing up Teslas. And then Pam Bondi came on the news and was like, if you vandalize a Tesla, we will find you. We will prosecute you. They were helping Elon a lot. Trump even turned the front of the White House into like a dealership for a day. And he had Elon there, right? They were doing their best to help Elon. But then, as you saw the months go by, they started mentioning him less. You started seeing them together less. You could tell this thing was waning. And then, how I know that they had stopped protecting him, his 130 days was up as the Doge, like, daddy or whatever. Like, I don't know what this job is. Like, depending on who you ask on what day, he's like an advisor, but he's the leader, but he's not involved. It's like, it's all very weird, but he can only do it for 130 days because as America, we only have like 3 laws left. And one of them is that you can't be in a made up position for more than 130 days. And so it was like time. And so it was time for him to go, right? And it being time for him to go, he asked Trump if he could stay. And Trump was like, dang, man. No, we only have so many, like, bathrooms in here. Like, it wouldn't work, you know? I imagine Trump had the reaction that you would have if the worst person you know asked if they could live with you for a little while. Just like, oh, dang, my place just flooded just now. That's right when you asked me to. That's crazy. I know we're not there, but I can feel with my bed underwater. Like, it's just a thing I have. So you should probably find somewhere for both of us to stay, because I need somewhere to stay too. Find a place for both of us to stay and you just stay there. That would be great. And so Elon, shows up for his last day at work, and the president is in the Oval Office with him, honoring him, giving him a key to nowhere. And one of the ways I knew they had stopped protecting Elon is because there were like 2 publications that came out, one the day before he left Doge, one the day of, and both those publications from like high caliber written journalism basically said, headline contents were basically, did y'all know he was a crackhead? Like, he'd been a crackhead. That's crazy. Elon a full crackhead. I had no idea. They were listing the drugs he was doing. They're like, he does cocaine, he does mushrooms, some hallucinogens and everything, ketamine. Horses can't keep up with Elon. Like, he really out here a full crackhead. That's wild. And then, to prove the doubters, the detractors, what Elon would call the full-blown liars wrong, he showed up to the Oval Office for his last day of work, higher than his rockets go. This man was in the Oval Office standing next to the President of the United States, tweaking. This man was over here hitting he looked like he arguing 5 minutes into the future. It was wild to watch. This man over... could not stop moving. At one point, you have to watch the video, but the only way I could describe it is he felt like a slow Michael Jackson, right? He was just over here like, no, it was insane. This man next to the president cracking out, and Trump said nothing. And then he left, He left, and I'll admit to you right now, I thought it was like a PR stunt. I really did. I thought that he was leaving, and then he'd just keep running Doge in the background, and this would take some of the heat off of him. Now you wouldn't think of him so directly. People wouldn't attack his businesses so hard, because in the time that he entered politics to present, he's lost somewhere around like $100 billion or something like that. And it's all like a valuation thing. It goes up and down, but you could see that at least the boards of the businesses that he was on are genuinely worried, even if he doesn't care. So I thought he was going to leave politics for a little while, keep working in the shadows. Maybe the stock would go up a little bit, but nothing would really change. And it turns out that was not the case. He had really been getting on people's nerves. Like hard. And you saw it with Trump. They used to always, be talking about Elon, mention him, to not mentioning him at all. And then the people that Elon had to deal with, it wasn't really Trump as much as the actual cabinet, and they couldn't stand that dude. They hated that dude so much. And so he's really out. And you hear reports, now this stuff is all hearsay, I don't know if any of it is true, but apparently he was having shouting matches with Marco Rubio all the time. All of these cabinet people that Trump got in, Elon has had a spat with most of them, right? Scott Bessent, apparently him and Elon almost got in an actual fight. Scott Bessent doesn't look like he can fight. If you... If you don't know what Scott Bessent look or sound like, just imagine if like printer paper came to life. Like and Elon was truly out. He was out, and one thing really stuck out to me. It was the fact that Elon and Trump share a sort of lived experience where they're not used to hearing no and it's sticking. No is usually an inconvenience to a yes for them. They usually get their way. And so for Elon to be told no, and then he was actually sidelined, and then things that he wanted to happen weren't happening. He wanted some dude that he recommended to be the head of NASA. Trump said no. And then there were things that Elon didn't like because he felt like apparently they were undercutting all his work, like Trump's big, beautiful bill it's named the Big Beautiful Bill because imagination. And Elon has hated that thing, I guess, for a while. Just the idea of it. It's almost universally despised. Democrats obviously hate it, and Republicans also hate it, but for different reasons. They don't care that it's like gutting, programs and whole agencies, and that we're all gonna die. They don't like it because it raises the deficit anywhere from $3 to $5 trillion, right? And so it takes about 4 or 5 days. And then Elon tweets. He's like, I can't stand it anymore. I cannot stand it anymore. This bill is a disgusting abomination. And everybody in the House that voted for it, you did wrong. All right? And Trump said nothing. I was like, did he find God or something? Like what is happening? This is not the dude we know. He attacks those who attack him. And he's finally asked about it. He's asked about it in a press conference, and they tell him exactly what Elon said. He's like, I'm really disappointed with Elon. He knew the bill. He knew it better than some of the people that voted on it. He knew this bill, and he knew it was going to be cutting, his electric vehicle credits like that. Maybe that's what he's upset about. I have no idea. But in case you don't remember, I was very nice to him. That dude showed up with a black eye. I didn't say anything. Because he did. Elon showed up for his last day of work, high and with a black eye that Trump just fully let go. He didn't point at it, didn't motion to it, nothing. Was very chill about the black eye. And then, in the Oval Office, these are some of not all, but some of the top journalists in America. Obviously, they have questions for Elon of what his plans are. Now that he's leaving Doge, he's going to spend all his time on his companies. They have plans to ask Trump questions about what he's going to do with Doge now that Elon is gone. What's the future of it, right? But these top journalists, the first question that I at least saw them ask was, what's wrong with your eye? Like, that's... Nobody gonna say nothing? Like, his eye. And then Elon was like, oh, it's actually like a funny story. I asked my 5-year-old, my 5-year-old little ex, I told him to punch me with Ralph Hudson. I told him to punch me, and he punched me. I got a black eye. It was actually, he's strong for a 5-year-old. It's kind of funny. Elon said he had a black eye because his 5-year-old punched him. That's a crackhead story if I ever heard one. That is a full crackhead lie. You must have the most synthetic skin known to man if this 5-year-old is out here dodging and giving black eyes. No. And so Trump was like, look, maybe we'll go on to have a great relationship. Maybe we won't, because that's the thing. People come in here with us, they like being here, and then when it's time to go, they either embrace it or they lose their minds. You can tell who broke up with who by how people move after a breakup. You know what I mean? Like, because while Trump is talking, Elon is tweeting. He's tweeting, and it's a lot. This dude goes all the way back to Trump's old tweets from like 2013, 2015, where he's like, I can't believe what they're doing with the spending bill. This is such irresponsible spending. If you have this much of a deficit, you won't have a country. And he's going back and showing all these old tweets, and he's quote tweeting them like wise words. Once again, you can tell who broke up with who, because for you to scroll back to 2013, you hurt. You are mad. You know how much his thumbs must be exhausted. 2013 tweets. Trump was tweeting 272 times a day, and he made it all the way back to 2013, which means he read them all. He hurt. So he hitting them with the 2013 "this you" text. Like, that's crazy. That was insane. And he keeps tweeting. He's getting madder and madder. I don't even know what's happening in the background, but he is tweeting himself down a tunnel, because every time he tweets, Tesla stock drops by like $13 billion. It's just going down and down and down and down. And he's tweeting up a storm, right? He even tweets out, he's like, you wouldn't have won without me. Okay, if it hadn't been for me, Republicans wouldn't have won the House. The Dems would be in the House. The Dems would have the White House, and you'd have a slim majority in the Senate. You ungrateful. Keeps tweeting, getting more and more upset. I don't know what's happening in the background, but this man is getting more and more pissed off. He even tweets... Every single one of you Republican senators who votes for this bill will be voted out next term, all right? I will put money behind it, okay? He over here, honestly, Elon over here talking like he one of the people or something. Like, I was like, what is happening right now? What do you mean, we, dog? Like, make me uncomfortable. But he says it, and then he said, oh, he's getting madder and madder and madder. And then he tweets out threatening Republicans specifically. He's like, look, here's the deal. Trump's going to be the president for 3.5 more years. I'm going to be around for 40. That must have sent chills down your spine if you were a Republican senator, any Congress. But Trump is going to be president for 3.5 more years. I'll be around for 40. You could hear the threat in it when you read it. Trump is going to be president 3.5 more years. I will be around for 40. And I was sitting in my room like, not on crack. Like, not on crack. Like, that's not, you must not know what crack is. Like, that's not nutritious at all. The crack is not good for you. You should not have crack. Be around for 40. All right. Oh, it's insane. And then Trump finally tweets. He's had enough. And you can tell he's had enough because we know the type of man Trump is. We know the type of figure he is, the type of president he is. He's had enough of this and he's been holding back. He's been very nice to Elon. I'm sure in his head he was like, I've been very, very nice to this dude. Elon acts and moves like he snuck into a body. And Trump didn't say anything. Trump is over here like, I didn't mention the jumping, the laughing, anything. This man blew crack smoke on my shoulder and I didn't. I was very nice to him. And so then Trump tweets out, he's like, hey, yo, one of the easiest ways for us to save billions and billions and billions of dollars is just get rid of all of Musk's government contracts. That would do it quick. And then Democrats were like, do you mean it? Or like, are you just mad or you mean it? All right, I was just asking. Okay. And then Elon tweets, Elon tweets this clip that is him and Trump in front of a Tesla in front of the White House. And the quote for the tweet just says, remember when? I was like, oh, he hurt. Oh, he must be sick right now. I've been broken up with most of my life, but I've never hit somebody with a remember when. So crazy. Remember when? And then Musk tweets again. He's like, hey, since Trump wants to threaten my government contracts, how about SpaceX just goes ahead and disassembles Dragon whatever ship right now? And that would be all well and good, except there are 4 astronauts in the International Space Station right now that are probably floating like, what did we do? Like, that's... I'm not in this at all. Because they're mad, furious, going at each other, you know? And then, I don't know what pulls the trigger, you know? Trump tweeted one more time and it still felt very reserved. It felt very nice. He was like, look, I don't care if Elon turns against me. I want the big, beautiful bill passed. He can just deal with it. Let's get this legislation done, right? And then Elon tweets out, all right, time to drop the big bomb. Trump is in the Epstein files. That's why they haven't come out yet. Have a nice day, DJT. You can tell who broke up with who because the person that gets broken up with is the one that tries to ruin your life and tells you have a nice day in like the same breath. Oh, that's crazy. That's gonna be a hard one to dig yourself out of because Epstein is like the burying ground. It is the conspiracy 101, right? So many people had podcasts, had hours of content going over Epstein, talking about who might be involved, who's in the Epstein files, who's in the Epstein log, his little black book, all that stuff going over and over and over it, getting people really feverish over it. And then some of those same people, because of who they are and because who they're connected to, they get in office. They get into government office through Trump, right? That was a mistake because even the hardcore conspiracy theorists knew. When Elon tweeted that out, Trump is in the Epstein files. That's why they haven't come out yet. Almost right underneath is Alex Jones saying, God help us all. Elon done got Alex Jones press. Because where do you go from here truly, you know? Where do you go? Because those same people who are talking about, if they just let me in a room full of files, I'd find the Epstein files in 5 minutes. Just let me in the room. And now you're in the FBI. And so when people ask you, what's up? And you're like, actually, it's nothing. Like, don't worry about it. Nothing happened. Just go back to what you were doing. It's not. That does not sound real. I'm not saying anything else is even going on. I'm saying what you have stoked makes it impossible to stomp out. There will never be enough information coming out. There will never be enough stuff uncovered. There'll never be enough files released. You know, they tried initially. They tried. They were like, hey, we're releasing the Epstein file. They even made it like, you know, like a Fox News event. Epstein files coming out 9 p.m. tonight, right? And when they released it to a lot of these like blue check conspiracy theorists, Twitter influence. I don't even know what it's called, but they released it to them. And those people were on fire. Those people were pissed. Because when they actually opened it and they read it, because they meant it. These are true believers, by the way. These aren't people that are like part of the grift. They're reading it and they realize that everything in these things has already been released already. There's no new information in these things. In fact, they did such a bad job of trying to make it look real that they redacted stuff that was already public. And that was, for that conspiracy theory group, very weird. That was very, very weird. You know? And so that was already strike one. And now Elon's saying this, that's strike two. Because it's not like that's new information. We knew that Trump was involved with Epstein. There's literally video of them partying together and stuff like that, like on MSNBC from 1992. Like, that's not news or anything. But when you're a conspiracy theorist and nothing is enough, nothing is enough. You know? And so then in the background, people are trying to chill this thing out. There are White House aides, there's Elon's assistants trying to get these two to mediate, not make it any worse than it is right now. You know? And as of the time I'm talking, there's a lot of stuff that Elon's taken down, like tweets that he took down. And even Trump is trying to be very nice to Elon. They asked him his first interview since all this happened. And he's like, look, I don't know. I'm just trying to run the country. I wish him well and everything. I don't know anything about his drug habit and him being a full-on crackhead. That's not any of my business, right? So publicly, he's putting on a very good face. He's trying to be very professional, very presidential. And apparently, rumor has it, privately, he is calling everybody he knows, like, you know he a crackhead, right? Like, no, he blew the smoke right on my back. I had to get my suit cleaned. And look, I'm not saying that this is the end of either of them. I don't know if they'll reconcile. I don't think that's even possible. I just know it's the first time that I'm standing shoulder to shoulder with a bunch of people, watching two people go at it like fight. Yo, Detroit, y'all been amazing. Thank you so much. It does feel like this Epstein thing is going to go on forever. Because, okay, the Dems released, I think it's like some sort of committee, they released these images that were subpoenaed from Jeffrey Epstein's estate. Jeffrey Epstein's estate turned over to this committee like 95,000 images, like pictures, everything like that. And then they released to the public 19. Which seems maybe only one person's working today or something. Like, maybe there's like a thumb in most of the shots on the rest of the pictures. This is crazy. 19 out of 95,000. Apparently, I still want that to be like a fake number. Do you know what I mean? I saw 95,000. I was like, somebody hit an extra zero. There's no way. There's no way. And then 19 pictures are... The thing about the pictures, right, is that on their own, only some of them are like damning and weird and crazy. A lot of them are just pictures of people hanging out. It's just who is hanging out. Do you know what I mean? It's like a picture of Jeffrey Epstein and like Steve Bannon. You know, Steve Bannon back when he was actually like working in the White House and everything, like working for Trump when he wasn't just Steve Bannon. Sometimes you look at somebody. Steve Bannon a tough one, because sometimes you look at somebody and you're like, oof, maybe they gotta be racist. Like, I don't know. If I look like that, I'd probably hate everybody too. I'd probably, look, I'm not condoning racism. I'm just saying, like, look, no one else looks like that. So, of course, he's gonna hate everybody that doesn't look like that. He gotta look like that. That's hard to live with. Man. Steve Bannon hate everybody. He looked like he would hate everybody. You know, like there's some. I'm not saying that every like racist person is ugly on the outside. I'm just saying that like when you look at him and if somebody told you he was like a deep like a super racist, you'd be like, yeah, I'll let the racists have that one. Like that's not getting in my feelings at all. That is, imagine somebody hates you and like really hate like a lot of hate in their heart, and they would love like a sort of dystopian future where you and everybody like you is living a terrible life just because they have so much hate in their heart. And you see them though, like on paper, that's very upsetting. But when you see them, let's say you see this person, and then you're like, oh. Do you know what I mean? Like, Steve Bannon looked like white Thanos. Like, he was crazy. When I found out about this dude, I was like, is this dude... I didn't want to assume he was racist, and then he said some kind of racist. I was like, yeah, there it is. There it is. Because the thing about when you're racist, it's like people have to feel less bad about not wanting to be around you anyway. And I will say this: look, this is just me. I'm not telling anybody else how to feel. This is just me. Even if Steve Bannon was not racist at all, I would still be like, ugh, and that's on me. That is on me. That is me. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you judge a book by its cover, and you're right, because the book is like made of skin. Like, remember the book from Hocus Pocus? Steve Bannon made of the same leather binding as the... Why he always look wet? This man... You know what I mean? He looked like if Sweat woke up and started walking and talking and being racist. Like, it's just... Man. You look at Steve Bannon and you're like, no wonder the Klan wore sheets. Like, there's people that you see sometimes and you're just like, woof, wooga, booga, ooga. And Steve, I said all that to say Steve Bannon is in pictures with Jeffrey Epstein. It's like, that's also not good. Because it's not like you could convince anyone you were anyone else. Do you know what I mean? There are people in the Trump administration that look like other people. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like Sean Duffy to me looks like every coach I've ever seen. Every like youth sports coach, I'm just like, yeah, maybe. If you told me he was like Secretary of Transportation or like the head coach of the youth volleyball league, I'd be like, both of those track for me. So if Sean Duffy was in a picture, you'd be like, is that Sean Duffy? Because that could be somebody else. But nobody else looked like Steve Bannon. So as soon as I saw Steve Bannon, I was like, oh, Steve Bannon. Jeffrey Epstein let Steve Bannon get real close to him. Man, I knew he was a freak. I didn't know, wow. Oh, man. And then you see like Jeffrey Epstein with plenty of other people. You see pictures from the island and stuff like that. You see Jeffrey Epstein in pictures with Woody Allen. This is very weird. It's not weird as if I saw that picture. It's like, not Woody. I'm saying. I'm saying it's weird in that you see Woody Allen by himself, and maybe you're already like, ugh. And then you see how people fight it. We know everything with Woody Allen. We don't even need a rehash. We know. And then you see this, and you're like, I know it. Seeing Woody Allen with Jeffrey Epstein would be like. It would be like if OJ's glove slipped on perfectly. It'd be like, oh, yeah. Woody Allen. I forget about Woody Allen all the time. And then something reminds me of Woody Allen, and it never doesn't remind me what Woody Allen is like. Do you know what I mean? There's never, I don't know. Maybe I don't watch enough movies, but I've never been like, a new Woody Allen. Like, no, the thing with the daughter, and it's top of mind. You know, Woody Allen. What would they have to talk about? Like, and then there's a picture of, I think it was like Bill Clinton and Ghislaine Maxwell together, like a group picture and everything. Hillary, not there. Hillary, not the, man. Every time Bill not with Hillary, he get in trouble. You know Hillary must stay mad as hell at home. See all these people. 19 pictures out of 95,000. That, I don't know why we keep dropping like Epstein content like albums. Like this is... Oof. No, it's bad. I don't even know what to do with this. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, you see a picture of Trump and all the people whose faces they're like blacking out and everything. And you're like, okay, what's that? What is that?
That never looks good. That never looks good. If I take a picture with some people and they blacked out everybody's face but mine, there's no smile, there's no demeanor you can have when they blacked out everybody's face but yours and look like innocent. Like there's no way that it's not happening. If I take a picture with people and they black out everybody's face but mine, either I did something or they did something. You know what I mean? There's no, like, even if you look happy, blacked out everybody's face, but then you. Blacked out everybody's face, and then you. There's no scenario where you don't look like you did something. They blacked out everybody's face but yours. It's not good at all. And then you see these weird inside jokes they had and everything. It's weird stuff. It's upsetting, weird, and it's crazy to me. It is so insane to me that out of this multi-billionaire cabal of predators, that somehow amongst all of them, because you're talking about like what would normally be serious conspiracy level stuff, like would be on TV type of, these people, every single one of them, so far as we've seen, right? All of us, whether you've only like delved in it a little bit and you've just seen what was on TV reported on the news, or whether you dug deep yourself and you've researched a bunch of all the people involved and everything, it is insane that out of all of these people, billionaires the world over, right, having ties to each other that are just through Epstein, don't make any sense, that somehow all of these people, every single one of them does not know how to draw anything. Like they cannot draw at all. It's terrifying how like the drawings they do aren't even motor skills. Like I don't know what I'm looking at half the time. Like even that thing that Trump supposedly drew, but then they're like, we have proof he drew, but I don't even know. I don't even know. I really don't know. I assume he drew it, but I don't know if they finally like said, because he said he didn't draw it. But then when you see the drawing, you're like, he drew it. That looked like, it looked like something he would draw, because it's like the way it doesn't look like a person. It's like, I would like to think that not only did Donald Trump draw that, but that is how he sees people. Like it would make more sense for the country if Donald Trump only saw things in cartoons. That would be pretty good. If you went inside his head and it was like, oh, everything looked like Dilbert. This is crazy. Because doesn't he seem like an Adventure Time type president? Like, just like, he's looking around, people are like, this is serious. And he's like, I don't know. He looked like a dragon. I mean, it's like, sir, that's Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon, multiple pictures with Jeffrey Epstein. Hanging out. Man, what could they have to talk about? Yeah, I mean, what, like, oof. Oof. Do you ever wonder if Steve Bannon tried? If he tried to like, I gotta do something, I gotta clean myself up. Let me do like a chemical peel or something. Like, let me do something. I don't know. Like, I don't know if you just look like that off the rip. Like, I think something happened. There's got to be an origin story at play. You can't just, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like Steve Bannon got the same background as Splinter from Ninja Turtles. Like,
Probably. Like, it would make sense if Steve Bannon was like living in a sewer and then he came across these turtles, right? And these turtles, he started taking care of the turtles. He thought about eating them, but then he was like, nah, I'll take care of them, everything. And then there's like this toxic waste that they were all exposed to, and he put the turtles in it because he was like, I lived. And so then the turtles got like a special, physical intelligence for martial arts, and he went off and joined the White House staff. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He just doesn't look like I've seen Steve Bannon say like dog whistle racist things and been like, bro, you don't need the dog whistle. Like, this one's all you. Like this. Steve Bannon is what you imagine when you imagine like a deeply, racist person. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you look at it and you're like, oh. I would rather it be that way. No, it's just convenient that his entire shape aligns with his views. Like, it's just, if you really have never seen Steve Bannon, he looked like, a Sphinx? He looked like, he looked like the head of a frog and the body of a wildebeest and the legs of a chicken and the hands of like a mole rat. You know what I mean? I feel like I don't know, Steve Bannon just seemed like he bite ice cream. You know those people? Those people can't even enjoy a treat without being a psycho. You know what I'm talking about? Like, Steve Bannon looked like he bite an ice cream cone in the face. Like, he just attack it. He lets it drip down his head and goes, I'll save some of this for later. It is crazy how you will be doing your best to get your life together as best as you can. And it is unfair that anybody can make you their emergency contact. Like, I can't even get into a hotel room I paid for without my ID, but you could just write my name and number down. And now all of a sudden I'm who they call if you get busted up. Like, this is a crazy system we've created. What if your emergency contact don't like you? We didn't think this through at all. This is I mean, it's indicative of a less than stellar healthcare system, but your emergency contact should be somebody that you trust, should be somebody responsible. It should be somebody who knows their emergency contact. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta make somebody your emergency contact the way you make somebody a godparent. They need to know. Because you could do that too. You could also just make somebody a godparent and not tell them. And then people will hit them up and be like, hey, so they said if anything ever happened to them, you have a kid now. And when you say what, they're like, they said you'd say that. What? In what world? I was made the emergency contact for a friend one time, and I was like, I don't know what he expects me to do with this. Like, they called me and they were like, hey, you're his emergency contact. I'm like, all right, what was the emergency? And he skateboarded off a roof. No, I had the same reaction.
Now I have the same reaction. He looked at me crazy like, I thought I could land it. No, my mistake. I forgot. The world is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 9. That was crazy, though. I thought I could land it. And so I made them call you on a Saturday. That's the other thing, too. You can make your emergency contact somebody so that the person who should really be your emergency contact doesn't find out. You know what I mean? Made me the emergency contact because he knew if he made his parents the emergency contact, he'd hear an earful about skateboarding off a roof. But the crazy thing about making me the emergency contact versus his parents is that his parents still live in the state he's in. I moved away years ago. This is just... I don't even drive. What do you expect me to do for you? Do you know what I mean? Like, you would be better off just telling me to put you on the prayer list or something. Because even the person that called me, even like the receptionist that called me, I was like, so am I supposed to do something? And they were like, no, not really. We're sort of letting you know. I was like, wait. So you called me. He's alive, right? Like, he's alive? And like, yeah, I mean, probably gonna be discharged in a couple of days. I was like, oh, okay. Is it like, is anything broken? I'm like, yeah, his leg. I was like, oh, okay, so not his hands or his mouth. But he still made you call me even though he has my number. And then this was insane. I'm on the phone with this person at the hospital, right? I said what I just said. I said what I said to her, what I just said to you. And then she went, oh, yeah. No. You work at the hospital. I cannot be blowing your mind right now. That is terrible. It's so frustrating too. You know, he got a big bill for it. He got a big bill for breaking his leg, skateboarding off the roof. And it's not like they charge you extra for it being stupid. They charge you what they charge you based on, you know, insurance, network, deductible, all this stuff like that. It would, I think by now that I'm an adult and I like know what any healthcare thing is, right? Because when I was a kid, I would just go to the doctors. My mom took me to the doctor because she was like, I don't know, right? Like, if I got hurt or felt sick around my grandma, there was usually something. There was usually like a remedy, something passed down. I remember one time I had a wild lump in my throat, like to the point where I was like, I wasn't necessarily having a lot of trouble swallowing. It was just very present. It was making me deeply uncomfortable. And then she was like, oh, okay. You know, I'm thinking in my head, I'm gonna have to go to the hospital because I'm like, I've never even heard of this. And then she's like, oh, tell me what's wrong. I told her. And then she was like, okay. She goes to the kitchen, comes back, and she puts like a couple dashes of salt on a spoon. She was like, open your mouth. And then she put the spoon right under, you know the thing. And so she put it on there, and I was like, ah. And then, sure enough, it just went away. Just went away. No charge. It's gone. It's crazy, you know? Meanwhile, you go to the doctor and you ask the doctor what's wrong. And the doctor's like, I have no idea. Like, I don't know you. We just met and you just told me what's wrong. Why would I know? Do you think I'm magic? Why would I know what was wrong? I have no idea what's wrong. I'll run some tests so I can find out, which is logical. That does make sense. That does sound like science. I don't know, so let's run some tests so we can find out. All right, we're all human. We can't all just guess and be right. How much will the test cost? I don't know. Why would I know that? It's a test, and it's a test for you, which is gonna cost different from everybody else. Don't you know that? You idiot. Don't you know that the test costs whatever we say it costs after it's been done, so that way you can't really make a decision on whether or not you can afford it? We're just gonna tell you later, you know? Like, I don't know, a hospital charged you the way a loan shark lends you money. It's like, because you get the bill and you're like, all right, I was there. So I remember you barely helping. Meanwhile, everybody that like wants to do good, like some of the most good you can do as a medical professional is really lean in and quietly tell somebody like, hey, look, this is gonna be insane. Just so you know, this is gonna be, you know, this is too much. Like, I love when I get like a nurse or a doctor and I ask them like, well, what about this? Like, would you do this? And they're like, no. That's real good, you know? Because I genuinely feel like nurses especially don't get the like pay, the recognition, any of the like care that they deserve, because if there's gonna be someone that saves you $20,000, it will be a nurse. Yeah. It'll be a nurse that's like, just take some ibuprofen. You know? Or like, you know, sometimes you end up in a bad situation because you get charged this insane amount in this incredibly frustrating way, whether you got good care or not. That's devastating. Imagine you have to pay all this money, still don't even know what's wrong. You know? It's crazy. Because then I've been in situations where, I was at the doctor and I was like, this is bad. I can tell this is bad. And not bad as in my health, bad as in like, I don't think he a good doctor. Like I could like, and I'm not saying this is a medical profession. I'm saying like, some of it's presentation. If you're a doctor, I don't want to hear like really think about what you're gonna say before you say it, and don't hit me with the uhs and ums when you're telling me something, because I'm asking you. I don't know. So if you're like, it might be inflammation. It could be stress. It could be. It's like, okay, we're just guessing in a room together. If we just guessing in a room together, then I can go ahead and go, because I'm gonna get charged like you said what it was. No, it's crazy. It does not have to be like this. It doesn't have to be like this at all. And you know, because you go to any other country and it's different. I'm not even saying it's always better, but it's different. They're like, oh yeah, we do it a different way where you don't die.
You know what I mean? We do it this different way where, like, yeah, technically our healthcare is expensive because you have been, taxed to the point where it's already all in the social safety net, and the safety net catches you. Is the whole point of the net. And then when you come here, you don't have to worry about an arm or a leg in payment when we don't know, because we won't know. We won't know here either. Do you know what I mean? You go to the doctor in France, and like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that some of these places with universal healthcare don't have incredibly long lines or don't have their own like system failings, but I'm just saying a start is a start, you know? And sometimes you go to these places and you'll be like, oh, okay, the line is what y'all are complaining about. The line? All right. The line. Because we have a line, we also sit in the line for long to not know. That's one of my favorites, is like how ambulances can be out of network. That's you can tell the devil came up with that. That's the. And look, I'm not saying I know everything about this. I'm just saying this is my understanding. I hope I'm wrong. I love being wrong. It's usually a better world when I'm wrong. I love being wrong, but from what I understand, there are like ambulances that are not covered that will then take you to hospitals that are out of network, which just makes the whole thing more expensive. It becomes like a $9,000 Uber ride to the hospital. And I don't know, I feel like it's tough. It's tough because it's like, how are you gonna tell them? Like, let's say you hurt yourself. Let's say you get hurt and maybe you're even like knocked out or something. So then somebody calls an ambulance. It's scary. You don't want just to witness somebody dying right in front of you. So you call an ambulance. The ambulance comes and picks this person up, takes them to the closest hospital and everything. And you were unconscious. So you couldn't tell them, I'm not getting in the ambulance. I'll walk. I will walk and die before I get in there. Because then every time the wheel turned, that's like $200. And then you got the nerve to try parallel park at the hospital. Get some extra turns in. No. But you couldn't do that. You couldn't protest that you didn't want to get in this ambulance, that you didn't want to go to this hospital, it's out of network. Maybe you even knew that, right? And you couldn't stop it from happening because you were knocked out because you skateboarded off a roof like an idiot. And then you're laying in the hospital bed, leg broke, you broke. And then this person calls your emergency contact. Who didn't know? Who didn't know? And then they pick up, thinking it's a scam call, so they were admittedly a little rude when they picked up the phone. Because I do not like when people call me and ask me if it's me. You called me. You called me to ask if it's me. I know I'm me. If you don't know if I'm me, don't call me. If you don't know, you called me to be like, is this Josh? It's like, is that a trick? What is this? The only people that have this number are the people that know me. So if you don't know me and you have this number, maybe don't call. But if you do think it's me, you would just say, hey Josh, right? You would say it with confidence. You wouldn't act like you found this number written on a bathroom stall. Hey, it's just Josh. Are you out of your mind? Is this Josh? That's what I love in my day. I love to spend my day telling people it's me when they think it's me and they've called me. The only way to have an interaction that's more aggravating is if someone was holding your ID and reading it and looking at you and go, is this you? It couldn't be more me. You're talking to me asking if I'm me. And so then I don't say anything because I can't tell if you're a robocall or not. Because you get those now too. You will get a robocall. You'll get a robocall and it'll sound not AI for the first like 3 seconds. Because anybody can say hello and sound convincing. Some people say it weird. Some people do. Like people who are not AI will be like, hello? I can't tell if that was a computer or I can't you know what I mean? It's like how you never know if the first sentence of a poem is good or bad. Like it's like, we need a little more to decide. You get that first hello? You get like a hello? You get so many different hellos and you're like, all right, this could clearly be a machine. You're not gonna get me. And I don't know this number. And you called me. I pick up and look, maybe it's wrong. I'm sure it wastes time. But when you call me and I don't know your number, I do give it like 10 seconds of just silence. I wait for you to speak. I wait for you. This might be insane. I don't know if I'm crazy, but like, I wait for you to speak. I don't know you. And then I'm pretty sure your voice triggers the robocall. You know what I mean? So when you're like, hello, they're like, oh, a person? Oh, we got you now. This number works. So then I'm like, I pick up and I'm like.
Talk to me. Talk to me. I ain't talking first. I don't know you.
And then I hear, hello? And I'm like, all right, you're not out of the woods yet. What's that second hello sound like? Because if the second hello sounds eerily similar to the first hello, you're an AI. No. No one says hello exactly the same pitch for pitch every single time. Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Is someone there? You know what I mean? And then this is what I'll do. This is also. This admittedly doesn't make sense. I'll tell you this right now. This does not make sense. This is why I should never be your emergency contact. Because even after the second hello or is someone there, all I'll give you is a cough. I'm coughing right into the phone. Because a person will be like, oh, okay, that's a person. And maybe they're getting situated. Maybe they answered it in their pocket and they're trying to like get it to their head or something. But a robot doesn't know. Hello, is someone there? Is someone there? Is someone there? You know what I mean? And then you can just hang up, right? But hello? Hello? Okay, 2 different hellos. That sounds promising. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Can you hear me? That's pretty... You all right? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Are you okay? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I'm good. Hi, how's it going? Good. How are you? I'm good. Is this Joshua? I know you don't know me, but you're already trying my patience. Who is this? Because tell me who you are. Don't ask me who I am. This is my phone and I'm already in it. Like I'm already in my phone. You're a visitor in my phone asking if... Imagine somebody came into your house. They walked inside and they were like, are you? You'd be like, I have to shoot you now. I have to, like... Tell me who you are. If you broke into my phone, tell me who you are. Is this Josh? Yeah. It's Josh. Oh, okay. We're calling from blah, blah medical. and you were listed as the emergency contact for your friend. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's interesting, because I didn't know that I was his emergency contact. That's wild. You can just do that to anybody that you want. It's crazy. You can make someone your emergency contact while owing them $200. And that's wild. That's wild, because when I need to emergency contact him for my money, there's no answer. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know, when I have an emergency of funds from the funds I don't have from the $200 I lent him, somehow, wow, can't get a hold of him. Line isn't working. But when what did he do? He skateboard for a roof. Huh, okay. Probably bought that skateboard with the $200. Do I need to do anything here? Is there anything I'm supposed to do? Like, am I getting charged for this call or anything? They're like, no, you don't have to do anything. Like, okay, good. I won't be doing anything. Because I just want you to know something about your patient, that he is a coward, all right? Because he has my number, but he knows that if he calls me, I'll ask him why the last text message I sent him about the $200 was left on red. And so he had you call me, like I would forget. Why don't you call his parents? They live in the state. They could come pick him up or anything. And then I don't know what's like protocol or anything. I feel like because I do my best in real time to have like a real interaction with a person, like people are so used to pleasantries on the phone, especially like in a professional setting, like nurses, doctors, everything like that. I think that because of my general demeanor, or maybe the fact that I seem like I could hang up at any moment, or maybe she was as sick of my friend as I am. I don't even think she was supposed to tell me this, but she was like, oh yeah, because I asked, why don't you call his parents? I can give you their number. They're not even my emergency contact, and I can give you their number. They would be more interested in this whole ordeal. You know what I mean? And then she tells me, she's like, no, they're here. It was their roof that he skateboarded off of. They're here. They're here as in there. They're here as in there where you are in that building. They might be behind you. Why do you? Like, oh well, it's a protocol. We thought they just got here, so we called you. To be fair to her, we had been on the phone for a while now, so like there was time for his parents to get there. It's like, you can just do that. You can just make somebody your emergency contact, not even tell them. That's crazy. That's wild, Lisa. She's like, huh, yeah. I was like, all right. It's a weird conversation to try to end, too. Because then I'm sitting there like, does he need $200 more? Like, why would he? His parents are there now, and I don't live there. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with the information that his leg is broken. And then she was like, yeah, I don't know either. I told her, I was like, I hope you have a good day. You deserve a good day. You have to call and let people know they're the emergency contacts of people that they don't even know what's happening. And she's like, yeah, thank you. And then we got off the phone. I just sat there. I genuinely just sat there for a second. I just was on the phone with this person for a while. And it occurred to me, like, I'm sitting there, now I know not only am I like my friend's emergency contact, because through everything, that does say something. It says something about like how he sees me or something like that. And sometimes you have a friend that you don't really know where you stand with for a given reason, and then something like that happens and you're like, oh, maybe we're closer than I thought. Like, even though I moved away, he was like, I want this person to know if something happens to me, which did touch me. Like, and I'm being completely serious. It was like genuinely that did like move, because we hadn't spoken in a little while. It wasn't even like a falling out or anything like that, but we just hadn't talked in me moving and everything. And I was just sitting there thinking about how he made me the emergency contact instead of his parents and everything. And I was also sitting there, just eventually I was like, it was $300 that he, like,